Hallelujah, hallelujah. Precious of Yahweh. YHWH. Good as your mighty Hashem. Your good to come. Your will be done. Your precious will be done. Of Yahweh. Give us this day our daily lesson. And forgive us our debt, our Yahweh. And we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, our Yahweh. For yours is the Mekut, the power and the honor, our Yahweh. Forever, our Yahweh. So be it, our Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious mighty name of Yahshua. HaMashiach, your Malak, feed us with the lesson, the bread of life this day, our Yahweh. To your nation, Abba Yahweh. Man of every spirit, Abba Yahweh. To try to come against it this day, Abba Yahweh. In the precious mighty name of Yahshua, HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
That's
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Come on in,
This is another Yom Yisrael that Yahweh has, Barak. He has given us life. He has given us health and strength. And we may offer unto Him an offering of praise until now to His name. Hallelujah. For His worthy is right.
you're returning for. Dressed in garments white and wrinkled, I have no earthly love that I am holding to. For you're the one for me, everything to me.
It doesn't sound well. Greetings to the nation. We greet you all in Shalom, SHABBAT Shalom. Yahshua's mighty and precious Hashem. I love that name. And I hate the lies of this corrupt system that simply purport lies, in essence, to tell lies. This mother whore is coming down. And I'm glad too. You could have confidence in it. Bring this slut down. She's corrupt. Me and you and your children are just like me and you. There's no aspiration for you. Hell, we love a video game and bull talk. We can laugh at some of the most senseless things. We don't give a damn about him. It's a fact. I'm so glad that y'all did one thing for me. He did not allow me or ever in my life to be concerned how people felt toward me. I could mock them and they didn't even know I was mocking them. You know how I would mock them? You don't know. By being very kind. By being very kind. That's how you do it. How you doing, sir? They don't know how to respond. Ma'am, how are you, ma'am? Thank you kindly. By being very kind. By being very kind. We are some of the most vilest creatures on the earth. He's been very kind to me. I said to my email yesterday, we were sitting there talking before the caboodle of the crowd came and they wanted to help me clean the pond. I believe they wanted to simply play with the water. I said to my imam, I said the last job I worked, I had 12 managers in 10 years. 12. I said to her, Imam, how do you think I acclimated myself to become in their sight and one that would I could interface with? So she looks at me and she's looking for an answer. I said, can I tell you, ma'am? She said, yes. I said, because I was honest, I was honorable, and my job was the same under anyone. I did it with great compassion, enthusiasm, because they were paying me a very comfortable salary. I said it wasn't difficult for me, others. And so there was interaction and engaging with each other. They liked me. And so even with my most archest enemy, y'all commands us to be at Shalom with him. Just, how you doing, Captain? I'll tell you what, you know what you're doing, don't you, man? Yeah? And I bless y'all for that. I don't begrudge no one. This is a sore generation because it's immature. I'm glad that I was raised in the era of time that I was. I am. This is a stupid generation. It's immature. And I'm saying that. That's why I want your daughters to beautiful. So young men can find beautiful wives. Can I say this before I teach? I want to teach today. I recall in my lifetime my mother, the different husbands she had. I never recall my eldest brother, his father, visiting. I never recall the second to the eldest, his father ever visiting him. I don't recall the third, his father ever visiting him. I recall my sister, her father, he would come. And the first thing they would do is get some gin. They began to drink, he and his wife. I was pondering yesterday and today. I said, yeah, I don't ever recall them. Maybe I don't remember. That they would take my sister home with them and spend the evening. But there's one thing I'll never forget. As a lad, I didn't want to be like that. When they would come, if they had not stopped by the whiskey store, the man never owned a car, would catch the bus. He would then not load it. And they would sit there with my mother. My mother would always entreat them kindly. She was a very entertaining person. And the first thing they would begin to do, began to raise hell with each other. And the whole session, I would just sit back and watch. They raise hell. That's all they did. Fought. Raise hell. Talk. Fought. And then they would drink a bit of whiskey, talk to my mother, and then they were at each other raising hell. Now that's the only one of my mother's children that there was someone or the father was a part of their lives. I don't recall my youngest brother, never met his father. And I certainly have not met my father. But I recall those things that I knew in my life as a 12, 13, 14-year-old, even a teen. I didn't want to be like that. And so the pattern of my manhood, I didn't get from other men. I didn't see men who loved their wives. I didn't see wives that were honorable. I saw women that would come out and raise hell. I see lots. And I knew that I would have never married nothing like that. Me now. Getting a wife for me at that time would have been no problem. I'm just being honest with you. Wouldn't happen. These are the kinds of things, as I look at circumstance in America today and around the world. This is what the young ones are raised under. This tyranny of atrocity. Daddy raised hell all the time, but mama, she's as fruity as he is. There's the expression of extreme. Love. Kindness. I didn't want it to be like that. And it will never be like that with me. There was a commercial in the days when E.F. Hutton speaks, even the bull gets quiet. So when I speak, all that you said this, I'm the captain. You understand what a captain does? You understand? Yes, sir. Captain drill. You understand what a captain does? If I tell you, you will believe me? You sure? Let me tell you a little quick story. I remember when I was in the military, we were in a place called Grafenfeld. It was in Germany. And so once a year, the NATO soldiers would gather. Canadian soldiers, the French, the Italian, the American soldiers. We were gathered at a place in Germany called Grafenfeld. We were gathered there for maneuvers and technique and to play war games, because you must understand the war and soldiers were still in Vietnam. And so in the midst of all that, we were interact with each other. We would play games, soccer, baseball, whatever. And then it was around the time what they call Oktoberfest. Huge festival in Germany. And they would drink beer. And I recall my captain. I don't know why the man liked me, but he did. I have gone out without my uniform being in place, my shirt unbuttoned, chest out, flip-flops on. I recall him said this to me one day. He said, Rob, he could have given me an Article 15. He said, that's not appropriate. You know that. And because he was so genuine and honest with me, it made me feel bad. It did. He walked with a limp. was a helicopter door gun, was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam. He had been shot at his buttocks. So he left. But he left me. I had gotten fed up with the army. I wanted out. And he engaged with me. He was a white boy. I recall going to the battalion commander. He was a colonel. You understand? You don't understand. I remember this man before the colonel as he spoke of the kind of person I was, and I was nothing like he said. I'm a damn fool, I'm stupid, I'm a dog. And that, what he did that day, it really revolutionized my life at that moment. I changed. That moment. We need someone to volunteer. That. Now what it was, give me the job. My friends will walk up, get out of here. Yeah. We're in graphic fear one year coming back. He did not talk with the sergeants, lieutenants. Of course, the lieutenants rode with him because he would fly up in a helicopter, which would take about an hour. We drove, take minimum 3 to 4 hours all day. And of all the soldiers there, he comes to me and said, Rob, that's what they call me. They call me Barak, R-O-B, not Roberts, Rob. Barak, what's up, baby? He came to me and he said, Rob, you want to ride home? Now, I would have gotten there 3 or 4 hours before everybody. I said, yes, sir. He said, I cannot put you on the chopper. This is against military rules, violations. You must have your dog tags. Do you have them? And the dog tags were identity. So when cats got killed in Nam, their bodies were blown up, but the dog tag would tell you who they were. I said, no, sir, Captain. He said, you don't want it. And there were going to be a bunch of us in the helicopter. He said, Rob. He said, Rob, and he called me Barak. He said, Rob, I can't. I can bring you aboard. He said, no. Next time, always wear your dog tag. And that's it. He was telling me always be able to identify who you are. We identify who we is by the very value of the essence of us. I'm not going to teach on the 3rd volume of what I taught last week. I want to teach on one word called life. Height. High heat. The strength, beauty, young. But what does it truly mean? What is life? You ever thought about that? We don't think like that. It's too simple. We like to think deep. We like to masquerade around as though that we have a tremendous insight. Can I show an example? That one to began in Torah. I said to my Ima this morning, I said, Ima, you know, it's amazing how that this is a generation that knows everything. It's stupid. It is a dumb generation. I said, it's amazing that there are people that tell you, oh, I'm not wearing no mask. They know more about coronavirus, COVID-19 than anyone. You, Mr. Fawcett, an epidemiologist, one that has studied the vastness and variations of death, viruses, labs all over the world. Yet, the arrogance of this generation challenged a man like that. Mr. Trump is dumb. His language, I listen to his superlatives, and they're all the same. He never explored the graphics of language. Well, Mr. Obama, he was cum laude there at the Harvard. He graduated the head of his class, and so he was Mr. Cum laude, and he was the president of that school, Mr. Obama. It is so magnificent. Mr. Trump cannot talk. It is one thing I learned about language. If you can express yourself meaningfully, as it don't care if you talk like that, has nothing to do with that. I read an article yesterday, it was very amazing, that this young woman of my youth, she was a school teacher, from 22 years old to 26, she was 28 years old, she taught school. She worked in one of the most an enclave of wealthy white people. Out of 206 school teachers, there were only 5 of her you. That looks like me. And the rest were janitors and things like that. She wrote the article and said, I want to apologize to all of my students. And she used the superlative that comes from, or the active verb, that comes from the Swedish word of a cow named the whooping cow. And she used that, she said, I really, you don't understand. I taught you wrong, I'm sorry. I lied. I taught you a system that even corrupt you more than I was corrupt. I like that kind of honesty. I like that. She said, I messed up. She didn't say I messed up. You don't teach in mind, you understand what I'm saying. I taught you from a system to demean, to belittle you, show you little worth and value. And you imagine what she went through there in a situation like that. You must understand all the black scholars went, the historically black colleges and universities. It is called HBCU. That's where they went. The doctors, McMurray States and stuff like that. That's where they went. They could not get in the universities. And we found that. They had the baddest programs in town. Football. Hell, who didn't go to West Charlotte? West Charlotte and, no. What's the school there? You talk to me.
Second ward.
You know what it is. West Charlotte and Second Ward. He went to those games, you understand? Everybody. Players were bad at the ball. Studious young men, courageous, beautiful personalities, with them pencil leg slacks, with them king-toed shoes that were sharp as a hammer. Sure they were. It was a classic. And that was entertainment for my community back then. It was a place of bonding and fellowship. Nobody, and all of that environment, so we grew up waiting. I couldn't look to get to West Charlotte. They shut down Second Ward in the 60s. Crushing blows. She would have went in her location at that time, the Second Ward. Second Ward. She would have went there. But it was such an environment that was so beautiful. I think about those things a lot. And I draw from those experiences of comradeship and life. Our communities have life. I'm going to teach you all this wisdom. No man. I said to my friend in the back, I said, there's not this man here, if he hates one thing more than anything, even with the circumstances, and he can't work. We were working hard out there. I said, he hates said more than anything. If you couldn't talk, you can have that. You can't work. And I understand that. I do. If there's anything that breaks that man down, can't work. He's no slouch. That's why I love him. I don't care if he gets mad at me, I still love him. I want you to, I want you to get mad, so I still love you. That's what love does. We make y'all angry, but he still loves us. So if I make you angry, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I don't give a knickers what the rat's done. I don't care. That's the only thing that tugs his heart. We had never discussed it, but I know that. That's what love teaches you. You care about someone, then you know. You truly, genuinely care about someone. That's last thing that I'm going to preach. What was that? Yesterday I didn't come. The other day I didn't come to dinner, I think Thursday. I was wore out. No, it was one morning. I've been to breakfast every day this week, right? I may have missed one. And I stay on him. He comes to my office. I hear this knock. I said, come on in. Yes, sir. Captain. The captain cared for me. He said, Captain always cared for those under them, their command. When you're a real leader, you care for those. You have leadership, you care for them. Above yourself. So he comes to the office and he said, Bobby, and he knows better. Call me Captain Trio. He says, you all right? I said, yes, sir. I'm excellent. Everything is all right. He assumed that maybe Poppy wasn't feeling well. The innocent of that has been created by what? Me getting on his head, but me showing him the genuine compassion of my care for him. He said, boy, you got to get up to be like your daddy. I don't want you to be like me. You should be like your daddy. That's what I want. I don't want them to marry a man like me. I want them to marry a man like this. They've seen the proven pattern of her father in his house, her house. I don't care what your circumstances are or each circumstance. You can evolve from that because I say this, and I'm going to teach you. I can set in the audience of whomever the most polished, what the world calls polished. They will recognize me. And I will have mama to make me a mammy-made suit. Absolutely. I wouldn't go back nothing off the rack. I wear this. They will have on $5,000, $6,000. I can wear this. Believe me. And then when I open my mouth, the whole room will get quiet. I remember Harvey Gatt, the first black mayor of Charlotte. I went to this meeting. Scott Howard, we worked together. He wanted me to come bang. Scott Howard played tennis with JCSU. He was an athlete. His wife was a school teacher and he worked with me. We worked together. And so I said, Ema, let's go. So I went. Ozzie Davis was the speaker. He repudiated the parents because their daughter her inability to sing, but because they had power. I think he was a doctor and she was a lawyer, something like that, and they were just ecstatic about her. When he stood up, he said, first of all, you should have given her much more practice because she can't sing. And everybody, I said, I like Mr. Davis. He stayed with his wife all those years in the midst of that jungle of Hollywood. They both dead. He said, first of all, she cannot sing. She has not taken this serious, because if she did, she would have performed even better. He didn't play. And I'm enthralled with this man. And so Harvey Gatt was there, the bourgeois. That was the first and the only time I did anything like that. I wouldn't be part of that. And so I can tell you what I had on that day. I had on a gray suit from Barry Manufacturing. Get out of here. Cheap there. Go there and dress. And with the shoes, the wingtip I had on. I came out of the restroom. People that have position like that and like they know how to speak. He didn't know how to speak. All he did, he looked at me up and down. You're the man, Mr. Mayor. You own an architect company here. You're multi-millionaire. Is that what you think you is? Yeah. Because I would engage in a very thorough conversation with him. I like the man. I want to teach on one thing, life. I just gave you that little dialogue, all right? What is life? How is it defined? How do you know that someone has life in them? They may be breathing, but that doesn't mean they're alive. They're dead in their sins and their corruption. You can profess a love for Yah. There is evidence to a proof in one's actions and reactions, one's substance. I want to read from verse 5. I like Peter. I like all the writers of the Torah. They inspire me. I want to read from 1 Peter chapter 3. I want to begin reading. I'm not in a rush today. Take my time. I may not finish this because the volume of Torah I have a thing that is proficient for this teaching. He used the word in verse 8. He begins this conversation as he begins to enlighten them with spiritual wisdom of Torah. He used the words telos, finally. Finally. The end, the conclusion. There is nothing beyond this. Telos. Finally, of all the things you've heard, you have reminisced in your mind as to those that brought you news from me. He said, your condition and the condition that you're in is because you have attributed to it. I've never blamed no one in all my life for nothing. Never. We have some kind of indifferences. I don't blame her. I'll tell her she was wrong. So he says, telos, the end, finally, comma. He commands us to be all. That is inclusive. That is all. That doesn't give you any room at all. Be you all of homophoro, just one singular mind. The mind that has the ability to perceive. And what my mind perceives, his mind is mine. And yet it is concluded with the same kind of judgment. So there is no distortion in my judgment and your judgment. We can see a matter and then we all will come to the same conclusion. That's why it is important to understand words. We haven't even learned how to read well. And when it comes to the extra curriculum, to defining words, we're lazy as cats dummies. And we talk with this erudition of arrogance, as though we know. Don't come to me with that, please. Please don't. He goes on to say, you must have the sympathies, compassion. I want to identify by what sympathies. It is this: suffering or feeling like the one that you think is suffering. You must have the same kind of feeling of suffering. And it is with being sympathetic, being compassionate, being kind. You see, if I ask you what kind is, we will say being nice. I said, well, what in the hell is that? You don't even know what nice is. And so the languages of the world, they don't have the graphics of verbs at all like this country. You don't even know what verb to use. Proper pronoun, noun. So he talks about this sympathies, that we must all have in our suffering the same. We don't have that. And the reason we don't have that because we don't give a damn. We care about nothing and no one. And the ones that we say we care about, we're not this. We're going to show you what life is.
Yeah.
He saw what was transpiring amongst the nation. He said, having compassion, you must have that one of another. Can I ask us a question? I know that you may not answer, but if you answer honestly, can I ask you all a question? You mothers especially, you fathers. I can't speak with that kind of volume because I'm not, in the physiological sense, a father. You tell me that when one spanks, corrects their child, it's not done in compassion. Do you have to correct children? You that have birthed them, had you ever had to correct them? So that's the kind of compassion I must have. That's compassion. Not this bogus bull that you say, I love everybody. You're a liar. You're a filthy liar. You're dirty. There are things I've never said, my friend. Believe me, I've never said that. And no one can say they've heard me say that. I love everybody. I would tell you, I don't know how to love everybody. Because there are those I don't want to be around. I don't want to be around them. So I'm not offended if they don't like being around me. So he talks about this sympathies. We don't even give a damn about our children, our mothers, our fathers, because we're not honest with them. Yah's honest with me. Hallelujah. He lets me know the dog that I am. And I'm glad. I don't need no superlatives that speak of a volume of this virtue. I have not. I have not. Neither do you. And so having compassion, my grandmother tore my backside up. But when she fried that fat back in me some gravy, biscuits baked, boy, get on in here and eat. She didn't apologize, but she knew she had to feed the child. Hallelujah. And y'all knows that we're hard-headed and evil. He has to feed us. We hate me so much that you don't even know how to correct me. When you hate you, you don't even know how to correct your ways. I will. So he tells us concerning this compassion. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You've been sympathetic. There are people that are just flat out stupid. And we are just dumb and ignorant. We are ignorant, we're dumb. And we don't want to confront that. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He says one another. Does he say that? Yeah. And then he commands us, love as Yisraelite Achim. And then he commands us, that's the word, Yosplegnus. 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 He says, be pitiful. In essence, you must have strong bowels. It must be strong. I look at them and their bowels of compassion. I look at him. We cry together. I look at their bowels of compassion. You know his compassion. He doesn't understand. She looks at me or the one, and they'll look at me with compassion. I said to him the other day, I like you, boy. Now, I've had to work on all of them. Him and her. It's no different. But I said to him, I said, I really like you. So in this play team, he gave me a chip. You think I would turn it down? No, sir. He smiled. I didn't want it, but I wasn't about to turn it down. He looks at me, and so I said, you blast me that way, I'm good. He looks and smiles. You didn't have to lie. He gave me another one. See, that's what's that kind of compassion that produces this kind of mindset that you are pitiful. There are those that the old folks, they say, she's so pitiful. So they dealt with people in a different degree of knowledge. You're splitness. So we must be pitiful. Yes, and it implies having strong bowels. Although someone is silly, you're not misguided by emotion. So your splitness is having strong bowels of compassion. And you must be tenderhearted. I don't give a damn if they're not. Yes. I don't care if they have no social debt. You still be kind and compassionate. I want more people that way than anything. Especially white folks. You're not going to run over me now. Yeah. But I know how to deal with people. And because of that, I've gotten more deals here for us. You can shake a stick at. Save us a lot of money over these many, many years. Yeah. So that is what your splitness is. You're pitiful. Yes. You have pity for one. As one would say, I pity them. In my days, they would see families going through great agony. And although I could not do anything on my mother, she said, I just pity them so much. So that's what you do. And don't be a liar. You show pity for all Israel. There's some that are strong and some that are damn weak. They don't have strength. They have not maturated. They're you that will never understand the beauty of love and the comfort of love. The men and women will never understand that. That's just a fact. It's a fact. That's why I appreciate my upbringing. It was evil. My mother didn't know. I appreciate that. But those circumstances is what taught me. Because I would go down to the creek bank or someone sit down and I would just ponder. That's why I never disrespected my brothers. I never called my sister. Nah. Call her no B or nothing like that. Dirty hoe. So that's why when I speak, she shuts her mouth. Even my young brother, he knows he's afraid of me. He better be. So he gives us that warning. And then he tells us to be purposeful. I like to pronounce these words. I have the capacity to listen to the word, but I've never listened before I pronounce them. I know how to break words down. I love that. I learned that in my segregated school. The prefix, the suffix. I learned how to break words down. Purposeful. And what is purposeful is, he said, but be courteous. This, you know what courteousness is? It's simply to be friendly and be kind. Purposeful.
Yes.
Purposeful. Just be kind.
Yes.
You're kind to those that you want to be kind to, and you're not even kind to them.
Yes.
You that think that I'm kind, you're the one that's not kind. You that think that I do it right all the time, you are a fool. You are the flat-out fool. There's only one couple in here that's been married longer than me. And that's it. And there's not many that are listening that have been married as long as I have. You can tell me nothing. They can tell me things about marriage. So you can't tell me anything about marriage. I learned early on by patterns and examples. I don't want to do that to my wife. I want to treat her like that.
Yes.
I didn't know about loving the wife. When I first married her, I said to the people the other day, if you're talking about a stalker, well, my cousin told me about her. She's a pretty girl. She's so mad. She's so pretty. I would take that route. She lived on Andrew Terrace. They lived on Deaton Street. And so in order to get to Puckett's store, I had to walk through her backyard. And my dream was just to see her. Never see her. Slow down, and I would have to come over the creek by the cemetery. I haven't forgotten. And there was her house in the cul-de-sac. Talk to me. And my going that way was just desiring. That's why we reminded hope, it never comes to fruition. But back then, I didn't know what big that was. Yes. But I sure had some hope. Just let me see it. Because it's graphics of her. It was just compelling. So I would go to his house and wanting to go to Buckets, stalking, just to see her. I probably would have went crazy if I'd seen her. I loved her then, didn't even know I loved her. I did. And when we moved to Dog Village, she says, "You're that girl I was telling you about?" I said, "Yes, sir." There she goes right there. Get out! I'm here, her house there. Her house there, my house here. My bedroom here. I know where her bedroom was. I would watch her take care of her sisters and all of that. And I would just sit in my window and when the ceiling and just look. Just watch her. I liked her mannerism, her actions. I liked how she had those children so clean and orderly. I do. I like that. I love that, to see that. Yes. How orderly they were and how clean they were. And how she kept them, and their home was immaculately clean. And when her brother became my friend, when I went to visit him, I knew that the kitchen was always smelling well. Sweet potatoes and pinto beans and fried chicken. She was always kind. You want something to eat? What she do? I didn't have nothing at home. Yes, ma'am. Her brother Willie was the type that He'll prepare his plate, and I'm looking like, man, please. You don't want to give you any. So when I saw her, there was an affection attached to that. I didn't know what the affection was, but I knew that she was everything he said she was.
Yes.
That's the fact that I knew I was going to marry her and no one else. And what a great blessing. I'm glad that God did that.
Hallelujah.
And I know no one beside her.
Hallelujah.
I say that with honesty. I know your brothers can say that. But that's a fact. That's a fact. So that's why a husband doesn't have to be like me. Or be like you, because you know just that. Her husband doesn't have to be like him, you know. Her husband. Your sons. That's just a fact. We must have this kind of courteousness to each other. Then verse 9 he says, not rendering. He used the word chachos, but chachos. Chachos. I want to read the definitive of chachos. Not rendering evil. And this is what is evil. You don't have to do something to someone. There are those that are listening, they think evilly. They use that in here that are evil in your mind. And because you don't know how to love, teach me how to love.
Yes.
He says not rendering chachos, and this is what chachos is. It is a mode of thinking. How you think. How evil you think. How you pretend. Let me tell you this, nation. If I don't give a damn about her, I'm not going to give a damn about her. Or you, or you. And that's just a fact. If I don't give a damn about her, I'm not going to give a damn about her or you. That's just a fact. Don't let nobody trick you. If I cannot be upright with you, and straightforward and tell you the truth, how can I tell him the truth? I can't. And so people got this damn phony pretense. They pretend they're cold as hell. They're cold as ice. That's evil. I don't give a damn who you is. That's evil. Because you can make a change. Look at who you are. Those individuals that did that to me, they made changes. They made me change. Because I had no sense of that kind of care. I said to my issue yesterday, we were talking. I said, was one thing that white boy, Dr. Graham, he was taking me for the ride. He was going to promote me. And I'm not talking about some little jiffy pump position. We were doing well, as the world says. He was going to promote me. Not just the personal acumen, but he knew mine. Labor, he knew mine. Desire, he saw my effort. He was just going to promote me around. I didn't have to pretend I was smart like him, like others tried to challenge him. He would break them down. His vocabulary was beyond comprehension. He used words like, where did that come from? He would break them all down. And he was so honest with me. He said, you know, my friend, people don't tell you certain things in life. He would share things with me. He and I just together said, you stop smoking those cigarettes. It's going to kill you. He says, I did not even start college until I was 27. I was somewhat of a vagabond. The white folks don't tell you stuff like that because they want this superb image, this clean image. But he could trust me. Don't even render kakos. What is that? It's not that I go out and hit you. It is a mode of thinking, how you think. It is how you think. But I don't bother nobody, you liar. I'm nice. If you base your niceness on what others or their action, And if you're a liar, and if I'm a liar, so I base my action on me being a liar, you being a liar, you know you're blind now. Well, how nice you being a liar, how nice you are to me. That ain't much satisfaction for me. I base mine off those that don't like me. I don't want you to like me. And I don't care. But I will still do you right. I will still render what God commands me. But it is a way of thinking, and don't tell me you don't get in your stupid feelings. It's the way you feel. Well, I just don't feel right. That is so immature. You think she can express to me what love is? When she run and hug me properly, she look in my eyes, and she pick me. She just plays me like you play a drum. Can I have that, Nadia? No, you're not going to get it. You want that? Here. Well, you messing up? No, I'm not messing up. Nadia, can I have that? No. You want it? We go get her a piece of water. You may take the seeds out. I'm going to fix it up for you. That's the way I rock. So because you don't express anything, it's your feelings. It's seen in your emotional expression. It means feeling in the way you act. Well, hell, you don't even want to get close to me, huh? Come on, brother, what's wrong with you? Come on, daughter, what's your problem? You disengage. And nobody in hell has done any of you that wrong that you disengage. That is so immature and so damn stupid. It's immature. You find anyone, I don't care who it is, if it's your mommy, your grandmammy, or your great-grandmammy, they do that, you know that's a sick individual. Beginning with you. You don't disengage. You show them you're much more bona fide than them. That's what I've always done. I'm stronger than you. That's right, I brought to teach us today. Because I'm going to cut your fat, raunchy backside. All of it. You're just a simple, immature individual. I don't give a damn if you don't like what I'm saying. You don't like it because you're too immature to comprehend the breadth of what life is. You're too damn immature to understand. You can't tell me I can't teach him about love and care for a wife. You can't tell me I can't teach him. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me I can't teach men that's been married longer than me. And not many that have my testimony, son. You know why I loved her? Because I wanted to love her. Did I know how to love? No. Did she know? No. She didn't know a damn thing about love. She knew feelings that she associated with love. Love is beyond that. She didn't know what love was, no more than I did. But when you're inspired to want to know, you'll learn. You'll learn. And then you will see the visibility of that. The world will see it. They will know it. I'm not going to go and pretend for nobody. Because I don't talk to nobody when I go out. I talk to nobody. I don't play with no one. I'm sober at all times. And I'm very serious. I'm serious as death. I don't grin and smile and play. I don't chit-chat. I respect every woman makes love to. Thank you, Mom, kindly. The so white gal got upset with me the other day. Well, my reaction was, thank you, Mom. Thank you, kindly. I do appreciate that. And you should have seen the transformation in that woman. Just those words, because I don't know what your circumstances are. Maybe your dog bit you this morning. Your rent bill due, the lights are being turned off. I don't know that. I don't know what you're going through. Now I can come stronger than you, lady, and then I could cause fear to fall upon you with trepidation, but I won't do you like that. Because I don't know your battles. I don't know what you go through. I said, ma'am, thank you. Thank you kindly. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. See, that's how you do it. You cannot override kindness with any kind of action. It is only kindness that overrides kindness. And that's why I say I base my emotions and my feelings, I base it upon how they react. I said to him, I said, we having those English ribs, understand she was home. And so my immediately thought when she comes back, Nani, you'll find out what she likes. What she likes, they will like. And we're gonna do that. That will be the next step. How about that? I don't even care if it's raps. I don't like raps. That's how you do it. There's nothing more beautiful than love. Nothing. And love is my talk. Love is the function of the office of YHWH in us. It never holds a damn grudge. Devil. It never dismisses no one. That's one thing that Evangelist Hartsfield taught me when he met me. And I remember I was about 25 years old. We were in a meeting. He said, my brother, I met men twice. He said, they cannot elaborate. They cannot talk the way you talk. But he turned against me. You've been with me from day one. You never heard me speak against it. Never. And I appreciate him. I said, I didn't learn loving a wife from him. He was nasty with his wife. I knew I didn't want to do that. I've seen women nasty with their husbands, no inspiration, no. Hell, I can tell, I don't care if you're fat or skinny. I don't care if you think you're fatter than wine or if you're fat. It makes no damn difference. Fat man that loves his wife, you know it. Fat woman that loves her husband, you will know it. One that is skinny and thin and thinks more of her, that doesn't give a damn, you will know it. And that's a fact. You can hide with all your damn false pretense, but it doesn't mean a niggas with a rat's dunk to me. I can walk, what about I can see people, I say, oh, that's so disingenuous. I can see those that, you know that there's a care. You know that. And I will find some way to say, how you do, man, how you are today. And they look. It makes no difference who they are. But you can tell. I can. You know how I can tell? If I entertain one the way I treat you, the way I would treat her. No different. And the way she treats your wife is the way I treat her. She's corrected you. You ought to be glad. She has never done you wrong. I've used that to say, I'm using me. So you will know, nation. I'm going to show you what constitutes life. I will never be miserable. No, nothing make me miserable. You know why I know you miss work so much? Because I love to work. I love it. I love giving attention. I fuss them. Give attention to the raised beds here. Here. I'm always learning things. I don't know nothing. A man that never, when he ceases from wanting to learn, something is sick with that man. A woman that ceases from wanting to learn, something is sick with that. I don't know. I love learning. I love learning about everything. Gardening, fun. We were up there having a fight yesterday. I don't know what I'm doing. It's all right. I've been here from day one, working every day here. You've been out. So don't tell me. I was able to let you do it. I know the ground better than anyone here. You can't tell me. Can he do things better than me? Oh, that's why I said you go over there and find out what's wrong with those machines. And that's what's wrong with it. I'm right there, like that. You understand? Let me move on. He says this, not rendering evil, this kachos, for evil, but railing. Or you want this lo riach. It is reviling, for railing. You don't come back on me because I came on here. You perceived it to be that way. So don't come back on each other. Just suffer the matter. And you realize what doors will open. There are those that are not as mature as others. There are those that are not as strong. So you know, I know immaturity. I'm older than all of you except my Zachim, all right? So I know maturity. I know a mature woman. I know a mature man. I know a mature daughter. And I met them. And I know one that's immature too. We were talking about one used to come here. He says to me, that woman, you knew she was crazy. I said, I knew from day one. I said, I knew it. Nobody gets past me. So everyone is not of the same level of maturity. I was referring to him the other day because of what they say. He's no monster like me. He doesn't get that title as a monster. I'm talking to him. That one. You know what I'm talking about. He kicks down. He robs. I come in my house. This person says to me, he sure knows how to move it, boy, you should. Boy, don't go that way. He got it down. You can see him. You don't come to me that I get it down. I get it down. I put up that fence out there. Come on. Well, that is what inspires me. He has that kind of ethic. He'll make a genuine husband or a wife that's virtuous like him. I don't want to marry a woman that had experience. I want to marry a young virtuous woman that has no experience. I wouldn't marry him. I'm going to marry him anyway. He don't need the extra. That's why you young daughters keep yourself. You don't have to be in no pressure out here in school or nothing. Don't be pressured. Keep yourself clean and unspotted. Because the experience you gain, you'll find that it's nothing. It will destroy you. It will mess you up the rest of your life. Keep yourself sound. I don't care what the battle is. We used to talk about you. It wasn't going to be any play jive. No, that wasn't what happened. I know how I felt about you. That's why when you reach that number of age, I said, go get it. Here. Ready to find. We didn't have no money, but we did that. People don't know. I know you've been coming, but you just don't. You're people. We can hear things, but we really don't know. We're constructed. We don't know. And that's just the truth. So you go get her. It happens a frog on a lily pad. I'm pressing on. This is so important to me. And so this is what you do, but contrary to that, instead of railing against each other, let me be keeping mad at me. That's so immature. You know what someone, if I'm in my house and I stay upset with her, you know I'm a sick creature. Next minute, you better kick it up, girl. That's a sick individual. No. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When I'm right, just be quiet. Not that ain't gonna be, but no abuse. No abuse. So instead of me railing with her, or you railing with each other, I know you don't want to hear it, world. You in here don't want to hear it. Because I can kick your crazy head in. I don't care who you is. I'm talking to her. I don't care. think I let some weak emotions, and I can pretend I'm all nice to her, and I treat her like a pile of hawk. And she's so sweet to me, and she's nothing but a fool. That ain't gonna be. She's telling you the truth. Because she is sweet to me. As the king, I rule like a lion in my house. I'm the big daddy drop ball. I'm the man. Nobody else but me. He said, but contrary, blessings, when someone rail against me, just as bless them. All right. We do it with the world, don't we? We try to be all kind and superficial with the world. So when someone rail against you, you bless them. Listen, nation. You can't go wrong with, I don't care what kind of correction it is. You may not like it. But it gives you a balance, it gives you a discipline. And the one that did that may do it for your hurt or wrong. But it's going to discipline you. You're not carried away by emotions, it's going to discipline you. And what is greater than that? Nothing. Not one of you, Achim, that I've said to you all in front of your wives, look at that little boy. That's what that man said to me. You think she took that and ran with it? Yeah. My love for him was deeper than him. Calling me a little boy because he knew I was sick. I needed help. He grew up with his father and his mother. They came up in the Church of God in Christ. Every convention they were there. I met his mother, and that was the sweetest old woman that you want to meet. She fell in love with my Ima. We could go to work. She fell in love. She loved Ima. She was a sweet old woman. She was the first person to give me an offering. She's the first person to give me an offering. She was the first. She was the first. I signed the check and gave it to him. She's a very sweet old mother. She was sweet. She had that Church of God and stuff in her. If they would go to the convocation, they learned how to keep. They didn't keep them all there. This man telling me I'm a silly little immature boy in front of him. Not only did he make me look weak, but he made me recognize how immature I was. I'm glad he saw it. And he made me do one thing. I wasn't arrogant. Talking to me. You're damn right I'm talking to you. But I said, and my prayer was, I don't want to be like that. And by him being so honest and forthright with me, he came 6 months later and he says to me, it's sure, he doesn't even act like he used to. And it dawned on me, I'm not the same. I rejoiced in that. Can you imagine I'm here with that kind of stupid attitude trying to guide y'all's people? I'm glad he did his son. I'm glad he exposed me right in front of her. Made me look like a piece of cheap, weak mess that I was. I'm glad he did it. I'm glad. I love him to this day for that. He rebuked me in front of her. And he just didn't get up off of me. He rolled me. That's right. Hallelujah. So you contrary, you bless, knowing that you are there unto call, and that you should inherit a blessing. So that's what you do, daughter. That's what you do, son. You just, even though I'm silly, just bless me. Because you know there's a purpose. We're working for the inheritance of God. The thing of death doesn't keep me straight. But I know I'm dying. Every second you're alive, you're dying. Full up. How young you is. You're dying. You see Mama there yesterday, just make sure she limit that. I love her. I need her. I need that mother with me. I do. I think about her more than I think about her. That's the truth. Why? Because she's been with me all these years. If there's anyone could speak that I've done wrong, she can speak. There's one that can speak that I've allowed her to abuse the Torah. I don't give a damn what you say. You're talking about the devils that left from here. The devils. I would not even listen to me. I don't try to find evangelism. You think I listen to stare those that I knew that waste my time? I wouldn't even listen to me. And yet they know that this messenger speaks with fire. She's been with me for a long time. I guess she caught the bus there. They came. When Rogers came, I made sure he'd pick up. He wasn't going to play no funny hanky-panky with her. I trusted Brother Rogers. He never disregarded her. We'll pick her up, take her home. It's an honorable problem. Yet he told me, he came in that day and rebuked me. There are more, many people would have said, let him go to hell. I called him. I knew his mind wasn't right. He just began to weep. Oh, my. I'm so glad. Oh, Ray, Pastor Robert, you just don't know what I did when I walked in. I knew I was so foolish. I didn't know how to say, oh, I'm so sorry. I went to visit him and I watched him die. I watched a man turn into nothing but a pile of bones. His legs were that big around. I would say, let me see it. Brother Frank, I would feel his legs. His face sunk. I would see him every week. And I'd step on it. Why? Because I knew he was dying. We're damn hypocrites. We'd rather go shopping than to go see a brother or sister. That's how I deal with it. And can I tell you this? You all were too young. I made his whole damn family mad at me. They didn't even want to let me in the procession. Everybody. They didn't even want to look at me, but that's all right. It's all right. It's all right. They didn't leave them being friendly with me because they wanted something that was going to please them. I didn't get them that. They were so mad at me. His brother lived up there on Lake Norman, so that should tell you something, all right? And a big old fine freedom up there. But they all, his family was, what the word was, a very educated professionals. But they didn't realize they met a master that day. And he ripped all of their fallacies and their falsehood, exposed them to who? To each other, their false pretense. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You don't rail against someone. You don't be cold as a damn ice cube. You don't be nasty. You don't treat someone wrong. That's not how you do it. You still do right. You still do right. You still do right by them. You still do right. You don't change nothing. He goes on to say here in Kafar, I know that we have this inheritance in verse 10. He said, for he that will. You understand that? The will of the Holy Spirit. It's a passion and a desire. You must have the will. Those that don't have the will, he used a rachon. He that has the will. For he that will love life. Those that will love life, you will know those that don't love life. I don't care about going to battle for Israel. I don't care about telling him his ways wrong him. I love him. I know he's older than me. And in his lifetime, he's worked for people younger than him. And that's a fraud. Supervisors and all. Yet he doesn't. He hasn't. I know I haven't. All those little young engineers, they were not old as I was, even though I was young. My manager, Chris Fowler, never forget. She had just come out of college. She was an engineer. And I had a fool here to tell me, you're younger than me. 6 months, you jackass. I said, I want to ask you a question that white boy you work for. How old is he? Oh, he's 25. I said, but you obey him, don't you? You're not going to do your thing here. Your wife never liked me. Your wife never liked me. And the reason she didn't like me because I was exposed. I don't have to go say, stand up. No. She was a nasty dog. He says, for he that will love life. The word life in the Greek language is Z-O-E-A-H. Zoach. But you pronounce it Zo. Zo. But it's Zoach. Zoach. And the meaning was so compelling. I knew I couldn't give you all the points of it, so I wrote it down, as Granny would say. Zoach. It means, this is what life is, if you love life. It means its most profound meaning is this: real and genuine. You can't be a fake, phony, dirty liar. And there are those that will be pretense, real with you, and they're fake with me. And there you, whether you're sons or daughters, you will pretend to cover one's sin, and you know the one is from no love. Expose the actions of anyone. And you will be persuaded by some damn delusion, because that's the way you is. Now you draw her and all of them on your side. That's how it works. I will. Then she pretends she's so nice. No, she's not nice. She talk crazy talk to me. She challenged me. That ain't about to happen. I don't let that happen. When I open my mouth, that's the end of everything. True. I know that's right. But of course, there are great rewards for me when I realize the beauty of what transpires. That's right. Yes. Great rewards. I love the rewards more than I love battles. I like a battle-free zone. And I bless you all these years. He has blessed my home to be that way. Yeah. We have cried together, hugged together, been upset together, but yet we love together. We made friendship important. Start talking. I don't want nothing after that, because you see that. And when I'm wrong, even when I'm right, I will confess I'm wrong. Because her love makes me tender. It breaks me. If y'all's love for you doesn't break you, you are a GD. Damn fool. You have no sense or no emotions at all. You damn out. That's what breaks me. That's what makes me do right by him and her and any one of y'all. I will do right by you. Okay. And I bless y'all for that. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. But this is what Zoe is. It is a life that is real. You can't be fake. You pretend to be real with me, and you're disingenuous with someone else. You pretend your love for her is great, but with her, you're nothing but a jackass. The jackass. You pretend you love the old mother, and you treat her. We were in the house the other day. I heard a knock at the door. Her knock sounded like his knock. I said, come on in. And there comes this big bag of all these. The youngest will eat it up. And she said, I got this. We were out. My daughter said, let's just get it. We take it down there. And Nani was happy for it. And I said, we having those big Angus ribs. Make sure you let them know. Angus beef ribs. They're not cheap. That's why one of her sisters, yes, she loves my ribs. She won't be that. But when she comes, I got her. I will do everything I can to make sure that what have we done for the children and we do for them and him. That's a fact. And every time they would bring me gifts, I said to them, make sure you tell them to do that again. Can I tell you this? All the cards that they gave me, see, unless I showed you, see, this is the kind of person I am. I've really never read the one of them. But I can take you to my office and show you this big old thick folder like that. But they're in there. How many daddies can do that? How many mothers can do that? I still got them. Close up. I got things she gave me when she was a little old child. Things you gave me when you were small, bring it. You too. Yes. I got it. When he lived next door to me, see, people are so disingenuous. When this man, he lived in that house that where he lived. His young ones run my door down. They'll always go there. Well, he does that for them. Well, if you live next door to me, I'm not coming down on that end. I haven't been down that end in almost a year. I'm not coming down that. Treat them different. We did pizza or something. She said, well, 8 of you. And I said, no, 15 is enough. I can eat. I tell you what, I can eat more than you can eat. How about that? Because I eat a whole one or not. And that's how you do it. Because all of them are bad in their own ways. I'm not going to condemn them for that. How are you going to condemn a brother because you are guilty of the same damn transgression? Are you going to condemn a sister? Some of your daughters are so immature, you don't know how to maturate. Men tend to have a little more stability. That's why he made you the weaker vessel. He did not make me. He made her. Why? Because the loyalty of depending on me will make my love strong for her. Let me move on. This is what life is, real and genuine. It is a life that is active and vigorous. If you find folks that are not vigorous, they're not energized, you know they have no life. You don't know what life is. That's what life is. I was thinking, I said, I start nothing. When I came here, I started nothing without finishing it. I've gotten into the mode now. I got 5 jobs going. What? Making sure the garden is ready for them. I've got to make sure the fence is up. I've got to make sure that the house is up. Doing all these things when you need to do one job, get it done. But that's the way I've always done that. And so when you find someone that is not a finisher, something is wrong here. You start a job, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that. I'm a finisher. I like to get things done. And that's the way it should be. I'm a finisher. I'm a man of order. I like things orderly, clean, neat. Things that chaotic, I don't like that. When you find someone that's like that, everything ain't set right there. I know it is. So I want to make sure that I do things orderly. I want to make sure I get that done. When I get that done, it's okay. I can. See how long I've had those pots sitting out there? Because I want to clean them. And so if I'm working here, I'm working there. But what about that this week? I get up every morning and work these beds and that bed every morning. I appreciate them because they walk, they just walk. Look at that's something beautiful up there. I work that bed and that bed. I used to go to the garden every day, but I can't do it all. I can't. I don't want to. When I was attending the garden, it was, I understand, but I was attending the garden every day. I walk it. I check every tomato plant every day. There's over 100 some tomato plants on here. But I check them all, but I make sure. I tender and I take care of them. They look nice. Fertilize them. So when you're not a finisher, something is wrong. You don't begin a process and don't finish it. You begin something, you finish it. And that's the way this community was built.
Yeah.
We started it. We finish it. Yeah. We started a race. Now we're going to have to finish it. Life is that which is, Mama, they're walking up and down. It is active and vigorous. Yes. It is a life. This is what life is, and you love life. It is devoted to Yah. It is a life that is blessed. The very higher you full of esprit, not foolishness. Yeah. I've never liked foolishness. I've never liked silly men. Yes. And I've despised silly women. I never liked a silly woman. Love to laugh and grin and you can hear. Never like that. And the younger women were always immature. The older women, they were more mature. That's just a fact. The young ones, they were silly. You must be devoted to Yah, bless. In the portion, even in this world, of those who put their trust in Messiah. And it gives you one and profound thing about you that love life. Hallelujah. Yeah. And that we have this desire in the resurrection or the consummation by this covenant which we have in the perfect body of YHWH HaMashiach for one person purpose, because it's going to last forever. That's why I've always said I'm living to live. Hallelujah. I love living. I don't want to die. Yeah. But I don't want to be hindered inside out. I don't want her trying to take care of me. Too heavy. Too big. I don't mind taking care of her. I don't want nobody washing her. I'll wash her. I don't want nobody bathing. I'll bathe her. I don't want nobody cleaning up. I won't clean up. Even when she's disgruntled, upset, pain will make you upset. It will make you mad. I understand that. I don't want nobody washing her backside. I don't want nobody touching her breast. I'll do it. I'll do it. I don't want nobody. I'm not putting it nowhere some strangers touching her. Go to hell. I'm down right along with her. Take her yard to take me. And that's just a fact. He's just talking. You don't know me. And that's why you can see that. You don't even know what love is. You don't know what care is. Because you never care for no damn body. You don't know how to care. You've never loved nobody. You've never been attached to anyone. I'm attached. She's my Bonnie. I'm her Bonnie. And you are the one. There is no separation. There is no divorce. Married her for life. I married her honor. That's what I married. And so I take all of her faults and my faults. We recognize them and then we make it right. There is nothing like making things right when one says I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I was wrong. In all these years, I can say she's never caused me shame. Never. I'm just using her as an example because that's me. Never. Now, I did in the beginning. I told her, woman, stop acting silly. You know why I told her that? You may not have heard the story. I knew she was talking to you that day. That our service that day was on a Sunday. And there was a game on. You didn't miss that one. In the South, we didn't have no football team. It was the Cowboys. The boys up there, they called the Redskins. You didn't miss that. And I knew I could catch at least half time. I was a sports enthusiast. And she had wasted too much time. Because the daughters, the women would never let her go. They want to hug and just kiss her and just like that. So I'm like, woman, you could be silly. I'm ready to go. Now the Skins and the Cowboys meant more to me than her. Here it is, come on. Don't, you all know. Don't you done now. You got sports like I did. You do the same. You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. I was a sports junkie. I loved it, any kind. And from that day, that was really a loss for watching any sports. Really, I don't watch the football game. I don't mind. I can't tell you. Because I've had a television, so I haven't watched the football game. Or basketball either. I just fell out of love with it. I really did. That we, not only if you love life, but you want to see agape dos, you want to see better. I know what it says in the book. I'll say what it says. Oh, to see good days. And that is simply the agape dos, is to have days that are so pleasant. You are so agreeable with brothers and sisters. You're joyful, you're happy, you're upright, and you're honorable. Yeah. Because one smile and grin all the time, that doesn't mean they're happy. I have the YHWH, I use the Hebrew word on that. I have the riches of God's truth in me. And I'm full of light. I delight in that. And so you can tell when someone has, and then they know the days. I don't care what. I've seen people on sick beds that even their presence would cause an illumination of light to flow from you. Yeah. Because they were full of light. Who are you, boy? Get over here. Come here, give me a hug. Some of you all don't know about that. But that's what it implies. To have this kind of attitude that they can see how pleasant you are, how agreeable you are, how joyful. You can't say you're joyful and happy. There's an expression of being joyful. I'm not talking about just grinning and skidding, yes. But there's an expression of one being joyful. Hallelujah. Yeah. Yeah. When he sits with me, he's always smiling now. That one back there. Always a Poppy, what do you think? Can I have some of that? He's always. And that's the way, that is the constitution of those that know they're walking in the light of his truth. Yeah. You will see a joy, even in trials and hellish circumstances. You still do the right thing. Yeah. I don't give a damn who it is. You still do the right thing. Yeah. You choose no damn side. You choose the right side. Yeah. Let that one, those, him, she, they, you do the right thing. Yeah. That's a fact. And I will remind all of us, nation, I remind you of one thing. Be not deceived. You deceive yourself, God's not more. So whatever actions you do, you lie and you cheat. The chicken is coming home to you. You don't survive. Yeah. You're going to pay the price. Be not deceived, yours not marked, for whatsoever man soweth, that shall you also is coming back. She's no nicer than anyone else. She's not sweeter than no one. Neither you. You ever heard people say, I do right by, I treat everybody with respect, I love everybody, I'm kind to everybody. You liar, you not know. And then they'll treat their husband like a piece of, treat his wife like she's a. That's why when a man, he finds her. Not that when he marries her, she's a wife. No damn woman is a wife when she, no more than he's a husband. But there's a process of refinement. What refined me, her love for me. She didn't know how to love. And what we call love was a love. That was a love. So those things were refined. And that's the beauty of it. And so once you reach that zenith of that beauty, you'll be around each other 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30, 40, 50, until you die. And others will see that. They will see your beauty, your maturation. They will see it. And just like they can see that, they can see that which is superficial too. False. I can. You can hide from others, but not this preacher. You don't get mine. That's the fact. With children. When children do something wrong, you know they've done it wrong. You never done that in your life? Trying to hide it, I know I have. Yeah, I cut the cakes. Only got a little piece. Little thin slice. If I finish nothing today because I'm taking my time, I'm interjecting not only what Torah says, but the process of these things. He also says to us, you want to live those pleasant or joyful days, agreeable days. We must refrain our lashon, our tongue, from kakos. What is kakos? Again, now, you don't have to say it. It's the way you think. It's a practice and an arrogant devil. I'm not afraid of any of you. You may. I'm not afraid of you. And there are people with personalities, and they think they're bright, and they're not bright. Trump is not bright. You're not a man. I would debate him any day. Tell me what you want to debate me on. And Barak Hussein Obama, now, well, you want to understand now that son. What's his wife's name? Michelle. He's the only one I haven't seen that show some kind of emotional expression with his wife. Trump and that thing, he got that hoe. She was a hoe. Yes. She was a dirty hoe. Yes. And Hollywood raped her. By the way, the black men, all right. Oh, Quincy Jones said she's nothing but a hoe. Okay. All right. You that are adults understand that, okay? She was a dirty whore. She played an old feeble fool. That's just a fact. Michelle ain't done that on Barak. We said, what you want? She loved that man when she said that I didn't want it. Well, Michelle, I'll take you down here to let's go down and have a cup of coffee, you know. Get out of here. She's not like the Barbara Bushes of the world. She's not like this Milana dog. She's a hoe. Polished woman. Now she can wear the fruit thing now. She doesn't have to wear all that old straight mess. Free from them devils. I saw a picture of her the other day, first time, I don't know how long, but I like her. I like his wife. He shut her up too. This woman was a constitutional lawyer, silly. Well, you ain't telling me about the Constitution. You stupid jackass. This woman graduated from, you went to high school and flunked out and they gave you a social promotion. How are you going to dispute Mr. Obama? Harvard? Get out of here. Usually don't go there without having not only the mental capacity to deal with that kind of extreme learning process, but you must also have the social. That was around a granddaddy that used that N-word and talked about them there. And there's a law over there, boy. And called that and used that kind of expression around his grandbaby. So there had to be a developmental process in a young lad like that. There's nobody that suffers like people that look like me. Nobody. That's why I can appreciate them. And I ain't gonna do wrong whether they walk with you or not. I do right by. I do right by. I think we'll do wrong by. So we want to see, we must do this. We must reframe our tongue from evil. The way you feel, and the way you feel you act it out. And don't tell me the way you feel, I can see it, you can see it, you even know it, they know it, I know it, him know it, she know it. Come on. I recall one day I walked in the dining hall. I did it early on. It was fall. We didn't, with a shirt. God. I would always go in and say shalom. I would speak to the people. I would speak to them. And one morning I went and I said, I'm going to show them how they is. I didn't say anything. The chatter began. First thing, something is wrong. I didn't say nothing for about a half an hour. They looking. Bishop Banks told us the way you come, you stay that way. And they're trying to figure it out. And so I began to tell them, you don't have to figure it out. That's the way you are. I did that to show you how you is, how immature you are. You're too young to remember that. And you will say it's someone else, but it's actually you. Whatever you charge someone else with, that's you. Because the Torah gives you a mandate and an order how to make sure that you create the essence of life and the substance of life. You don't pretend. You spank a baby's ass, you don't pretend you spank the child's ass. So we spank each other by being honest and truthful. You don't listen to no damn body. That's a fact. That's the way he is. Not only that, of course, you think that way. That's why it is one sad thing I want to tell us all, every last one of us. This is sad when you can maintain a course and it doesn't trouble you. It doesn't sicken you about you. It's not about me. It has to sicken you about you. That you can identify that I'm wrong. Something is wrong when your ways don't make you sick, but you can always refine my ways and tell me. There's not one of us that has not sinned. So short. John 16. Not one of us. Not one son. That's why I keep my mind on him only when I'm working. I bless you, God. Cry. There are you that don't even know what the pure tears of Yah are, what they consist of. I want to get this done. And then he says to us, and his lips, that they speak no, none whatsoever, dolos, speak lies. Can I show you a lie? She or she or she, knowing that she is wrong, and then there's no truth. You can't speak on that. You can't comment. And you and your juvenile emotions cannot say someone wrong because of your stupidity and your juvenile ways. And that's just a fact. You can't bring no charge against someone unless they are witnesses. And that's a fact. If I'm a dog, there are people go to these whole houses and they know that they're dogs. Sleeping with their wife. Don't play that with me. Nobody can ever charge me of being a thief, liar, a whoremonger, touching your daughters. You know, when they get, I don't like to touch. I don't even, her. That's just a fact. But you don't trust you, no, I don't trust me. I'm not going to do anything like that. But they're not going to gather my house and just sit around and follow. No, that ain't never happened here. Never. And if I had wanted to be a womanizer, T.D. Jakes in there, I look better than them. That's a fact. I look at these effeminate looking men. Nah. My conversation would have been more deep. That's a fact. And they're dogs. They're dogs. There's no sensual pleasure with their wives. That's the only one I want to know is this one. She does me right. I got no complaints. Makes me happy. So you can bring a false accusation. You can even bring an accusation against someone that's in the mouth of truth and witnesses. And then if there's an accusation against one, you're going to tell them. Y'all makes things so simple, doesn't it? Yes. Just go to them. Say, well, I perceive that. Well, brother, listen, no, that ain't. I apologize because sometimes maybe there are things I need to correct. That's how you do it. You don't carry nothing in your heart. Yeah. That's stupid. Yeah. You go to them, and then you get it right at the altar. Hallelujah. You can't go and get it right because you ain't right. Yes. That's a fact. Give a damn if it's her or you. Yeah. I keep it real. Straight up. So those kinds of things never drew me. And I could have played the field better than any of them. I don't even like talking like that. Forgive me, y'all, that wickedness. But if a brother do you wrong, you go to them. Yes. That's how you do it, brothers. Yes. And in all these years I've been here as a leader, they've come to me with everything. And I say, go get the brother. True. Yes. Go get the sister. True. Go get them. Yes. And so, those that came in the latter time of years ago, you don't know me. Because you never operated, and they didn't know how to operate in righteousness. That's the only way I've done it. They tell me what you just said about him. And the damn story changed. Always change. They ain't hardly anybody that received that from me. Tell me what. And it's changed. The whole story changed. And then that's the only way they can be broken. Honesty is what breaks someone. Truth. God tells me I'm a damn dog, that's what breaks me. He tells me I'm a liar. Everything that the Torah speaks of, that's me. I'm a liar. I'm an adulteress. I'm a wicked man. I'm evil. I'm sadistic. All of that speaks to me. And when you come to a position where it doesn't speak to you, you are a sick puppy. You are a sick puppy. You are sick. Don't give a damn who you are. You are a sick puppy. Even children have a greater propensity and tenacity to recognize. Yes. I said to them the other day, I saw him and him. Last Sunday, I said, look, boys, don't race it here. I said, you all got all this track. You can race all you want. Don't race in here. Because he said, I'll race, I'll beat you. They're talking to each other. I'm there working on the tomatoes. As I'm telling you, boys, do not race in here. Why? Because they're racing on that scooter and that bike. One of the little children could be there. I knew it wasn't that day. But you always take precautionary actions. He scat down through his zipper. He was rolling. He let him know, I will get you. I didn't say nothing. I watched him. I said, look how defiant he is. But there's one thing about honesty, it will speak. They come back up, preparing again. He says to him, I still beat you. Some of you just told me I raised you. I defy what the preacher said, the children. And I'm the man. Go home, you're not swimming tomorrow. And you better not ask me when you go swimming. That's a fact. I don't care how you hug me, squeeze me, it means nothing to me. You see, they didn't say, no, we didn't, we weren't racing. I said, no, you see what you just said? You told him you beat him, didn't you? He was trying to beat you, you beat him. I can take that honesty any day. I love that. There's nothing like honesty. I'm not going to tell you a lie, pretend. I'm just talking to death and oh my. How about that? With experience too. I've been around a little bit. There's nothing like honesty. Even though they did something that was subtle, he confessed it. I still beat you. You did win. By the skin of your teeth, because I watched you. I knew what you were doing. Not exactly, but that didn't stop him. Go up there and help clean around those onions. He went. That's a fact. Verse 11 of the same chapter. He talks about the word echelimo. He says, let us hate. Let us turn ourselves away. Let us keep ourselves from any form of these activities. Let us hate. We shun evil. What evil? The evil of your own heart. Yeah. I would be a hypocrite to try to identify someone else's evil. Yeah. And I don't identify my evil. Everything I preach is to me. Yeah. That's why I can walk clean before you. Yeah. That's why I don't have to sneak around or frolicky around. Yeah. No one has any charge against me. Yeah. No one. Have you done wrong? I do wrong every second of the day. But there's no activity of my wrongness, because it is the very reminder of the dam of Yeshua and what I'm working towards. I wouldn't sell it for some kind of silly pleasure. $50? Get out of here. 100, 200, 2,000? Get out of here. 25,000? What would 25,000 do? You stole that and you agreed. You go spit it up just like the way you stole it. You're so immature and stupid. That is so stupid. Yes. But she got more what? She got a 200-pound man, husband that loves her. She got one that probably weighs more than all the Achim in here. He's fat. That's all right. That's what she got. There's no exception to Yah's rules. So I will not allow you that sit there and never visit me, tell me I'm doing that. No one that has lived here, out of the 135 live here, if they're honest, they can't say that. I got a recording of the one that you all heard of that day out there. Both of them. You all were sitting at their daughters. I got the text message. You have always. The only people that always treated us kind. This is what they said. I don't give a damn about what they say. Was Emma there? She was so sweet. And they still, the one that said, well, dagger, she still likes her. It was her. I got the recording. I got it, a text message. I said to the cow's mammy, I will show you what she just sent me. You are a damn liar. I don't want to, I know you don't want to see because I will never delete that one. You were cunning to us. They didn't have a father. And their grandmammy was nothing but a disingenuous dog. She had nothing. But she met me. The gal called herself, she's going to kill herself. I used stupid child. Even the mammy brought it up. You gave her that gun to shoot us. I did. I took out that old 45, that 40 mag. I said to you, you want to become an FBI agent? I believe the gal could have done it. I believe I know she could have. But dope messed her up. Dope messed her up. That gal was smart. She was she had college books that she used. Math, calculus and all that. I can say about the old dogs in me. He did help. I don't take that back from him. So I took her to that pond. I said, oh, no. You turn that way. I put the gun in her hand, she's smiling. And I said, you must understand, you're going to have to kill someone if you become an FBI agent. I said, no, let me get behind you now. Hold it. You shoot in the water. She went, pow, 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 pow. She emptied the magazine. So don't you know the mammy brought that up to me? You silly cow. She said she never did me wrong. Emma Raphael was always kind to us. She would teach. I don't give a damn what the dogs say. She worked with your young wife, her and you. Although you were hard-headed as they come, you all have been hard-headed. She worked with you. Tell you when you were wrong. That's what a mother does. She's old enough to be your mother. She's older than your mother. She's come on, your mother. Count me. She said you never done it wrong. I showed my friend. Did I show you that? I showed him. I said, keep it sucking. I'm not gonna. I don't have no text messages because I don't text. Here, pick up that. I did them no wrong. I done them no wrong, son. I didn't. And that's just a fact. We didn't have money. We gave what we had. That was the onslaught of debts. I had what they call excellent credit. I had credit cards, 20,000. You know you got to have some credit to have a credit card for $25,000. That's saying something. I still got that same credit card. I don't use them. But that was in the day. And so in order, we didn't have no money. I didn't want them to say anything against y'all. I didn't care what they said about me. And those that left, I would go and borrow the money. You know, when you borrow a credit card, you're in trouble. Until it took us years to get out of debt because there was no money coming in. But no man can say we owe them to dishonor YHWH's congregation. No man can say that. We don't owe them. We paid them all out. We paid them all out. So that's the only way I could honor them. Give them something. He didn't come with a vehicle, leave with one. You know that's a pass, isn't it? Hallelujah. We must hate that, hate evil. And we must do tough. And then we must, in verse 11, and we must seek shalom. You understand what seeking is? You must have a compassion to be at shalom with each other. Someone that does things repetitively and over and over, you know something is just not right. Just let them go in the childish way. Don't try to correct no one. You correct yourself. You don't do what I do. If I'm that way, don't do what I do. He says, let them seek shalom, and then we must pursue. You must pursue. It is to run swiftly in order to catch a person or the thing. Some of you all can't even run. But this is what dechil means. You must do it fast. You can ponder. You cannot procrastinate. You must make amends. You must go. Even if I'm wrong. And even if you challenge your own heart. But that's what it means, that you must pursue. That is to run swiftly in order to catch a person or thing. In order to catch them, you must exhaust yourself. You don't want them leaving with that attitude. I don't care about the attitudes that people left with. But I just did no wrong. I did your mama no wrong. Man at the street said the worst thing I did was leave him down there. I hate it. And he come back, well, no. No. Maybe my health would not be like this. Maybe the woman. I didn't make him marry her. I didn't do that. He had lost one wife. His wife didn't leave him because he was with us. She didn't want him. Family that lived in that black and yellow house down there, they live still over here in Jefferson, on the other side of Jerusalem. Am I coming through? I'm so happy. I don't want to see nobody separated or divorced. I'm glad they're still together. I am. There are those that I'm glad. No, don't leave your wife, man. Stay with her. You all can work through those things. Woman, don't treat your husband like that. Don't go out on him. There's nothing more foul than that. For a woman to go out on her husband, a man to go out on his wife, and for the chamber of the mind to be filled with that which is filthy, violent, corrupt, by some strange man. That's evil. That's evil. That's evil. There's some evil things in the world, but that's evil. Don't do it again. You think I haven't dealt with those that have done that? You're the silly. So the fact that it reassured the wife or the wives that this man's going to keep them straight, and yet they still turn against me. Is that amazing? But there's nothing more vile than that. You know what you're saying? There's nothing more hypocritical about a man that does that. Oh, wait. That's evil. Man is ignorant. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. You don't come to the way of the truth and continue in some devious deed of that nature. And that's just a fact. We must pursue it, not only to run after, we must press to get it. We must press. You must hate the evil about you. It's not me that's evil. It's me that know that I'm evil. It's you that know that you're evil. And you're so self-righteous, you try to justify it. And you make yourself feel nice. Well, I'm kind to everybody. You're a liar. You're not nice to everyone. You're flat out liar. You're phony in your faith. Let's get real. I don't treat others like they treat me. You treat them worse. Not worse. Worse. As my grandmother would say.
Yes.
There's a figurative state of this word. It is one who run a race, and they run it swift for one purpose, to reach the goal. You want to meet the mark and the high calling of Yah and Yeshua. So you don't retain anything in your bosom that defile you. You don't accuse nobody of nothing. My emotions that they will make me interpret it, which is, well, what is that, brother? What is that, wife? Hold on, baby, you ain't talking me that way. Don't tell me that emotions. Don't tell me when a woman go through that change or that cycle every month. Don't tell me emotions are not a part of that. Don't tell me it doesn't alter her perception. But don't tell me that silly lie. Don't tell me it doesn't alter their emotion. And they don't change. I know that. So we deal with one another according to knowledge and understanding of manners that are vitally important. This is the course that we must go. Because if we don't, that's one thing for sure. We don't have the height or the height, the strength, the maturation, the maturity, the knowledge of what life is. There is only one form of life. Because you breathe and walk, that doesn't imply you have life. We're living by walking in the deadness of our trespasses and sin, corruption. That doesn't mean that you're full of the essence of life. And from the beginning, let's go there quickly. I want to answer the question, what is Chayir? Chai. What is life? What is that thing that calls you to, that sustains you? That's what Chayil is. That you remain, you are strong, you have a great purpose. What is that? What is that thing? And it's what Chayil is. What is that? That you're alive. And that not only that, it restores you to life and health. What is that? This is what it is in Bereshit. Genesis 2, verse 7. It says, and the Abaya, he formed, he Barak, he created. He created Adam, man, out of the dust of the ground. And this is what life consists of. And then he nafach. He nafach. He breathed. He calls breath. He breathed into his nostril the breath. Neshama. YHWH is that breath of God's life. Yeah. Then he breathed into him the breath, that which is from the instruction of his loins, what they would say divine. He breathed the breath of life, that he was inspired with intelligence and intellect and knowledge. That's what life is. He became life and Adam, and although became a living nefesh. Yes. He punctuated life, and that's the way you're going to do it. Is by the living breath of Torah, his word. Yes. We must get that in us. And if we don't get that in us, we're going to continue to do the same foolish folly. Hallelujah. And this is what revives us. This is what makes us alive. This is what brings life. This is what inspires us. This is what we pursue. The knowledge of his Torah. This is what makes us live. This is what makes us go on. We go on beyond the limitations of I, me. When he breathed the breath in him, he became a viable entity that will pursue the purpose of God. And when the breath of that life is in you, you're going to pursue the purpose of God regardless. It makes no difference. There are many that are dead in their transgressions. There's no liveliness. That's why I love those two words, the Oshia and Ashia. It is the life that promotes the essence of Yah. When I go places, I want you to know that I'm in the house. That's right. I want the volume of who he is speaking. Not some kind of arrogance or pride. And I'm going to walk in a way that you will know he's different. You can't tell me no jokes. I had this white fellow walk up to me the other day. He said, he just looks at me and he's like, can I tell you a joke? I said, no, sir. Not even. I looked at him just like that. I said, no, sir. Not even. Well, listen, I just want, just recently I'm up there. I said to you, sir, I don't want to hear the joke. No, sir. Then he saw me like, oh, hold up, I barked on the wrong one then. Well, you have a good day. I said, thank you, sir. Same to you. But don't come to me with that foolishness. I don't buy it. I'm not going to participate in it at all. Don't come to me with jokes and lines. There's nothing more, stop that, boy. There's nothing more foolish than that. There's nothing more repulsive to me than women sitting together. That's what they do. Especially women that look like her. No, take the damn wig off you. What is that going to cool you off? You silly thing. That's dumb. Take the damn wig off. Take all that crazy hair out of your head. And take care of it. It'll grow. That's all you got to do. Just do that. Stop that foolishness. Act with the sense of maturity and strength. That's what you do. Hallelujah. 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 That's how you do it. And no other way. So we need that sustaining construct of Yah. That breath. What is Chaya? Chayi. It is the instructions of Yah in your weak moment. It lifts you up. It sustains you. It makes you strong. It makes you recognize me. You can't recognize myself or you unless I recognize me. I must realize my fallacies and my faults before I can recognize someone else's. So I got to keep myself in tip-top shape in order to realize what my fallacies are. If I can be honest with me, I can be honest with you. Yes. And if I'm not honest with me, how am I going to be honest with you? I cannot be. And that's just a fact of the matter. And that's our nature. We're not honest with ourselves, and yet we want to try to dissimulate lies from me, and we indict others because I'm that way. You'll be surprised that people do that. They indict others because of their ways, because of their corruption, because of their evil. And we defend evil. I don't defend no evil. I don't care who it is. Not her. Not mine. Certainly not mine. We don't know how to do that. In this generation, in this life, this is the only woman I'm going to marry. And I'm not looking for no wife if she goes before me. I'll just have to get my chest game back up to snuff and whip on him a little bit. That's what I'm doing. That's right. I would marry no one. Him, young virtuous woman, that's who you want. She's as ignorant as you is. I would marry you to someone that's been through the barnyard, not me. Destroy you. To the young daughter of Zion that has never been contaminated. That's a fact.
Yeah.
This world is crazy. It's nutty. That's what you want. That's what I want for you.
Hallelujah.
It is not the excellent thing as a man for you to be by yourself. You should have a wife. Fact. Fact. And if no one else set the kind of pattern you set, of the generation of your family on both sides, that's not one like you. That's a fact. Even that what nobody says. That's a fact. Period. So I will not even look for one. Some old crazy woman as crazy as I am. She touched on my face. I'm not going to, I wouldn't even sit down with older women if we just talk. Not me. I sit down with my friend back there. We play some checkers and chess, and that's what we do. We just, I'm telling you, that's it. Won't you be lonely? No, I'll see you all. I will be happy because they're happy and beautiful. You and I began to move back a little bit even more. Relinquish certain duties and just wait to die. But as far as me getting a wife at my age, get out of here. And believe me, I could be an eligible bachelor. They will come. I get online, Facebook, oh, believe me, they will come. You think I'll go fishing on Facebook? Get out of here, lie. I ain't that desperate. I can go down to the corner store and say, ma'am, how are you today? Oh, this is a very pleasant day. I'm fine. I tell you, it is so hot, but I'm enjoying myself in such a pleasantry of just being alive. You don't have to say, how you doing, girl? What's up? What? That's childish. It's how you mouth. Because when people engage in that, they lie. Or make themselves look nice. They lie. They lie. When a man said, when I'm not, quote, I'll say it the way he was said. I'm no good, I ain't worth a damn. But I'm trying to do right, and that's the man, woman. I would look at him closer than what's well. I got my own small business, and I'm trying to do this, and I got so many things going. Well, he's not going to have time for you if that's the case. He's trying to impress you. Verbiage is not going to impress me. It's the attitude in action.
Yeah.
You don't have to say things. That's just the fact. So I will not get married. No. Work like no husband at all. No money. We just walk. I will not. Because there's no one that's going to be by me like her.
Yeah.
And I will not want it. Just been on his son. That's me. I have no problem with someone doing that. But I have a problem with me doing that. YHWH has no other woman but one. That's this simple.
Yeah.
Us.
Yes.
Understand? And that's what my love speaks for her. That's the volume of my love and my commitment in my life to her. I will not go beyond that. And I will be free to marry if I wanted one. I just would not put another daughter through that in the sense. Because I know where my heart would be. And I know where my emotions would be. And I do not believe that I could gravitate for it. I know I could not. I could do it. That's just me now. That doesn't mean that that's for you. Because I do it, it doesn't mean that it's for you. Don't be silly, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that my testimony speaks to that volume. That's it. She passed, give her time of rest. Marry, man. Nothing wrong with that. Daughter, I will never forget Evangelist Hartsfield, Evangelist Holmes, and the husband. And that was this nurse. She was black as tar. She was a very attractive woman. She was small. She was black. What I noticed is the blackness of her beautiful black skin. She was black. And I'm sitting there. We began to engage conversation. And I'll never forget. She says, my husband was a beautiful man. Why are you telling me that? Just conversation. She wasn't telling me that please. Advancing toward me. I'm not that immature that they, because if a woman speaks to me and she's attracted, she wants me. That's so stupid. You immature man. She says, my husband died. We had 3 children. He died when I was 28. She said, I loved him so. When I think about that, it makes me emotional. She said, I was 28 years old with 3 children. She said, but my love for him. She said, I never married. I've known no man but him. That's love, man. Yeah. You know what you're saying? Nobody tainted her. She said we had 3 children. And I put them all through college. They're beautiful children. You know why they're beautiful children? Because she was a beautiful mother. That's why. There's no one that influenced the life of a child like a mother. I don't care mother, stepmama, whoever. No one. Nobody. The Avant lays down the laws, and she expressed the beauty of the laws. Yeah. And she went on to tell me how her affection for that man was so. She said, I couldn't. She didn't inspire me to think like that because that was my heart. And she, that woman then, she was about, she was about 52. She was a nurse, registered nurse. I remember how she looked and everything. God's not going to take another bride. He's going to straighten us out and put the hell out of us too. The last verse 4 close. This is in Bereshit 2:9. This is what God did. 1 verse. And then God said, well, I got almost 10 pages of scripture and I wanted to. But I've talked too much today. It says in Genesis Bereshit 2:9, and out of the ground Yah, and out of the ground made Yah to grow every tree that is pleasant in the sight. It's excellent, it's tough for food. There's a semicolon to give us the identity, he says, including Cha'itz, or the tree of life. Now when I continue on this, I want to show us something about that tree. What is the substance of it? How do we eat from it? How do we assure ourselves in life? And how we can live calm. Folks say, well, he's doing, quote, good. Nah, I don't want to say I'm doing, quote, good. We're talking about the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of Torah and eat of the tree of life. And it bears forth the essence of the substance of fruit that brings life into its fullness. I love living Israel. I love living. I love being part of Israel. I know you all that listen is just a few of us. But I love my life. I love everything about it. I love working hard. I love everything the way I live. I love it. I live simple. I have no money, but I'm happy. Yeah. You out there, you have no money, so what's the difference? I'm not struggling paying no rent. You out there living in a shack. Come on now. I'd rather live here among the nation of my kinsmen and suffer with you than to be out there among strangers that don't give a damn, don't care for each other, and they won't care for me. Every man looking to his own. I'm glad that we can look to his own. We look out for one another. I love that much better. So I'm here. I can pick me some collard greens and all of that. And eat me some of those broccoli leaves. There's nothing better than broccoli leaves. I like them better than collard greens and all. I love me some broccoli leaves. Just ain't got my peppers ready yet. I got something I said to him. I want to knock your mama and your daddy out. I got enough stuff out there to knock a mule dead. And I want to see what they got. And I'm going to cook it up where it brings fire to their noses. He says to me in this childish way, juvenile way, he said, you got to have something tough for mommy and dad. I'm telling you. So I got something that's going to break them up. And I want to make sure I can't do nothing with those peppers. I got 10 of the hardest peppers in the world. They're hard to start, son. They're hard to grow. But I've been nourishing them. I want to make something that will make their nostrils. I do. But I like the spicy stuff too, and I like that. There's nothing like that hot pepper with some broccoli leaves. Ouch. Give me the broccoli leaves. I eat the broccoli. I have asparagus. It's potatoes. That's living. That's all the slaves ate. There's one thing that they always had. 3 veggies and a meat. You gotta have some protein out there. And they always ate. Everywhere they were foragers. They could eat. They knew what was healthy and what made them strong. They bust up on watermelon, they go eat blackberries and all. They knew what was vital to them. And we need to eat this truth that is most vital to us nation, that it judge us. That's what truth does. It would always judge. It will make you mad, make you upset, but that's all right. I don't care if you get mad with me. Your mama, your daddy, your grandmama pull up out of the grave. You all get mad with me. I don't change one thing. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't. I would be quite stupid. Knowing that you've honored me, I've honored you, and you don't like me for what? I'm not your problem. There's an issue in you that you don't want to face. You are talk loud and get upset all the time. Hey, come on, my brother, let's get it done. All right. Yeah. You know, there's one thing, let me say this, Barak. I don't care how many times I see the Achim, I'm going to speak. Shalom, yo. The Achim, how you doing? In all of our passing, that's how we do it. In all of our passing, that's how we do it. Yes. In all of our passing, that's how we do it. Yes. In all ways, still, when you're doing shame, appreciate that, man. What time you got to kick in? I got to leave it 10:30. Let's get this done. You kick that. What time you got to leave, Shane? 9:30. You may have for 30 minutes and you can go out of here. That's how you do it. Yeah. That's the only way I know how to do it. Yes. And that's how I do it. I don't give a niggas with a rat dog's puke. Anyone being upset with me. I don't mind, I love it. I'm a warrior. Yeah. I'm a giver. I fight to the finish for his truth. And that's just a fact. Look at who you is. Same room for me. No different. He's not going to do anything different here than I do. And I'm not going to be ghosted now. And I tell you something, son, and I never have. I've got me some salmon in my house and steak, and you eating beans right now. I'd rather you have the salmon. I've been wanting to get something too. They cost so much. I look at a box and I say, wow, that's how I got. We'll go with the other fish, not the white, but the snapper. We'll go with that. That's salmon is, especially that Alaskan bag that costs money. Send me a $500 offering so I can feed salmon to God's people. It's a bit different. All right? Promise you I'll buy some salmon with it. You'll be encouraged. I am. I'm happy too. And you'll be happy. Press on. Above all things, love one another. You know, in the days, the old one who said, I'm going to make you heifer. Come on over here. I'm going to hug you there. And we do stuff like that. Young man, get over here. Don't make it about them. But we need to get back to some of those old ways. You understand? I'll be encouraged. That's it right. And cover down. I have Mother marching. 40 inches all around. I say, boy, if you don't get your shoulders right and your back upright, you got to stay in synchronized step with me. Dress it right and come it down. 40 inches all around. Go down, go down, go down, right it down. He likes that. He really does. I know you have no kind of, you're going to have no kind of, hard to understand things like that. Don't try me. You understand? Like all other young brothers. He doesn't get back with nothing. He got to work with me. That's just a fact. Never had two of them out there. You can't work with two of them. I know what I'm saying. Just like the young daughter. You got to train them. You understand? So that's what I do. So you treat him different than his son, I treat him the same. No different. The other day, only one swam was him, and him. That's it. I didn't care what nobody said. She could have came to beg me. I would have said, no way, no way. They ain't not going to do it. Don't defy me. So you learn to care for each other. You love, you know how you know that there's an essence of care when you love life. You want to see better days. When you really love life, you learn to care. And many times we're brought up in homes, especially people who look like me. That's why I started this off the way I did. The only daddy that I seen come visit their children by my mother or child was my sister. And the wife that he had back then, it was always hell. They just argued and everything. And my mother would just sit there. They just fighting it. I'm telling you. I think that's why I knew I didn't want my life to be like that. And then they're being sweet to each other and all that. And he may say something and she say something, then they're raising hell with each other. There's nothing like that that mess children up. You parents, you don't raise hell and you shut your mouth. You shut your wicked mouth. You don't do that around children. You gotta take a walk. You chill out. Yeah. Chill out. Listen, son. There ain't nothing in the world that you will go through an eye in our marriage that will create that kind of stupid delusion. You got to fight. One said to me the other day, they called me. One said, I'm almost jealous. No, the person that said, I'm always jealous. Because I love the way you and Barak get interaction. And you know it's real. My battles are totally different. Who is it? None of your damn business. I told you you wouldn't know anyway. But I know that it's genuine love and care for each other then, because it is. And I just love the way you all interact. And I know it's real. And so there's nothing that your wife can do to you that will make you act crazy. You got to keep it going. Same thing with you. I'm talking to all you daughters. That's stupid. Son, don't ever. Younger than your wife. Always consider things. And just take, as they would tell you, take a deep breath. And exhale. And then weigh the cost. Is it worth that? Isn't it easy for me just to say, yeah or no? Do we have to go through all this ordeal? Is it worth that? Can I just say it doesn't even make sense? That's it. You'll find that you'll live a beautiful life. Strong and happy. And that's how you learn how to love. Yeah. As I want to give and take, it's not giving and taking. Love will make you permit. Love will make you honor. And her love will make her honor you. And because of her honor, that's what makes a man strong. Yeah. Your wife is going to always be the beauty of your strength, your personality, that no one gets you. Yeah. She's going to be the beauty of your strength, your maturation, your manhood, because she's going to honor you. Yeah. And because she honors you, you love her. She doesn't know how to love. You marry a young daughter, she's not going to know how to love. Don't know it. And there's one thing about women, think they know what love is. You call love in the bed, that's love. You're silly. The women that have slept with many men, they love them all. Something is not right. And so that's what will make your street beautiful. That's what will. There's nothing like that love that will elevate you. That will elevate you greater than any kind of position in life. Her love for you. Her touch, her feel, her placing her hand on you. That's greater than money. Yeah. He didn't make you to be alone. You're young, you're handsome, you're strong. Yeah. I'm not jealous of you. I don't want to be your age. I want you to live that life. That's the beauty of it, son. That's the beauty. Yeah. And you learn to love her, care, take care of her. She will honor you. Yes. When you get upset at times, she will honor you. It doesn't have to be something that is formidable, that is consistent and custom. That's not living. Hallelujah. I don't want a wife or children or nothing. If I got to live like that, that's miserable. We have to be shalom with each other. Yeah. You know where it lies? It lies within you. I'm talking to you as a son. As a son. Yeah. And he grants you a beautiful daughter, Zion. To love, to care. And to produce those after your kind. Like you. That's life, son. Not some fancy car. Going here, that's not living. I was listening this morning how this young man, I was reading this. Because this COVID-19 is busting the ones like from 18 up to 40. The old ones like me, 65 and up, it's leaving us alone. And I read this article with this young man, strong, virile, healthy. He said this, that because of my arrogance, I was strong and young. I knew it wasn't going to bother me until I went out to a bar with my friends when they opened things up. And he said this, he said, when I got home the next morning, I was sick. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't breathe. Now it has mutated and it's kicking young men like you, and that's who it's grabbing. He said, I didn't know what to do. He stayed in the hospital for 9 days. Because it takes your breath. And for all the people like us, it takes our breath and we don't have that kind of mechanics to breathe. You young, strong. And so that's why they need the, what are those things? The drum. Tell me. Not the face masks. The ventilators. The ventilators. That's why they, because the old folks like me, they were killing. I say, I know all the symptoms of it. I don't even, I know all the symptoms of it. I don't sit around and read that. But I want you to have a long life, son. And wife and children.
Yeah.
You be kind to your wife, she will love you. Even when she gets married, you stand in the standards of Yah.
Yeah.
Understand? Your parents don't make your discussion before children. That mess them up for anything. Parents raise hell. Fighting. And I'll see you tonight. We ain't gonna do that. Oh, no, yes, we is. It's all good, okay. Just chill out. Sherry, I watch the babies for me. Come here, let's take a walk. I can energize. You don't want to take a walk with me at that time? It is all that time. I'm hungry too. Encourage. Turn toward Yahushua in all things we do. Bless those that have joined us on this day that we may understand the beauty of Chai.
Yes, hallelujah.
That we may have the strength to sustain us in the midst of all of the turbulent battles of life. We pray for each one that have joined us. We pray for all Israel, you people, that you guide us and watch over us all and bless the nation scattered abroad. We pray for Yahushua. We pray for your elect, that you would keep us and watch over us, every marriage, every home, every son, every daughter, every child. Protect them from the wiles of this hour, the viruses.
Yes.
I pray in Yahshua's mighty name for your riches to befall us all. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Okay. Father, magnify.